The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Look, Maya, stop. Just stop for a second. I can't even get the oats into Mitch's bucket because my hands are shaking so hard from the sheer unadulterated absurdity of the news cycle. Mitch, move your head.
John, literally stop bullying the goat. It's Monday. It's 2026. The world is a burning dumpster fire, but the vibes are surprisingly high stakes today. Like, we are in our global consequences era.
Vibes. I'm glad you can find the frequency for the vibes, Maya, because all I'm picking up is the low frequency hum of a dying empire. I mean, did we not just talk about the Washington Post basically self-immolating yesterday? Did we not just discuss federal agents treating Minneapolis like a free fire zone? And here we are, February 9th, and the hits just keep on coming.
No, literally. Yesterday was a total flop for legacy media and basic human rights in the Potomac. But today the world decided to go full season finale energy. We've got the actual death of a free press in Hong Kong, gunboat diplomacy in the Caribbean, and a DHS funding deadline that's giving, what's the word? Oh yeah, legislative edging again.
Don't use that term for the Senate, Maya. It's too accurate. It's too visceral. It makes me want to go back to the barn and never come out. Look, it's a heavy day. It's a pack your bags and find a bunker kind of show. We've got maritime seizures. We've got the sentencing of the century in Asia and a domestic gridlock that is, honestly, it's legislative constipation at its most terminal.
High key. It's giving... The system is lagging and the beach wheel is just spinning indefinitely. Let's start with the international arc because it's honestly tragic. It's a total villain arc for the authorities in Hong Kong.
Well, it's worse than a villain arc. It's a funeral. According to the South China Morning Post and The Independent, we just saw the final curtain drop on the city's independent press. Jimmy Lai, 78 years old, 20 years in prison.
That is low-key a death sentence.
It is high-key a death sentence, Maya. I mean, he's 78 years old. He's the founder of Apple Daily. He's been in custody since 2020. They're charging him with conspiracy to collude with foreign forces under that national security law, which is just Beijing's way of saying, you printed things we didn't like.
Okay, but the details are actually horrific. There are reports he's in solitary, his teeth are rotting, his nails are falling out. This is a 78-year-old billionaire who could have lived in a palace anywhere in the world, and he stayed to watch his city get swallowed by the Borg. It's giving martyr energy, but the sad kind where nobody can actually help.
It's the purity of the collapse, Maya. He believed the institutions would hold, or at least that the light he was shining would be too bright to put out. And the response was just, we have a bigger blanket. The judges, government vetted, of course, called him the mastermind of the dissent movement. It's the harshest sentence yet. It's designed to be a signal, not just to Hong Kong, but to the world.
And it's not just him. No, literally, Iran is doing the same thing. NPR is reporting that the regime there just handed down more prison time to Nobel laureate Narges Mohammadi. They're literally arresting the leadership of the reformist movement after those nationwide protests. It's like a global coordinated effort to just delete the dissent folder from the hard drive.
It's the authoritarian stack, Maya. We talked about with Musk. We talked about it with the DHS. It's the idea that if you control the physical space and the digital narrative, you can erase people. But there is a flicker, a tiny socialist flicker in Europe.
You and your flickers. You mean Portugal?
Yes, Portugal. Antonio José Segura and the socialists just pulled off a landslide victory. It's a blueprint, Maya. It's showing that a center-left coalition can actually, wait for it, beat far-right populism if they actually, stand for something other than we aren't the other guys.
I mean, bet it slaps to see a win for once, but it doesn't really matter when the U.S. is out here doing fast rope boarding operations in the middle of the ocean.
This is where the dad in me just wants to start screaming at a cloud. Look, let's talk about Trump's gunboat diplomacy, because while we're worrying about the border, the administration is literally out here acting like it's the 1800s.
No, literally, it's giving Pirates of the Caribbean, but with more Kevlar and less charm.
So, within the last 48 hours, the U.S. military, authorized by the president, conducted these fast rope boardings from the USS Gerald Ford. They seized the MT Skipper and a Russian flag tanker called the Marine Era. Why? Because they're claiming they're part of a dark fleet supporting Venezuela.
Wait, didn't Pam Bondi literally release the footage like it was a TikTok transition?
She did. She's out there treating military seizures like a get ready with me video. Get ready with me to seize a Venezuelan oil tanker and violate international maritime law. I mean, the Venezuelan government is calling it international piracy. And for once, they kind of have a point. We're in neutral international waters. We're just taking stuff because we can.
It's the IEEPA era, John. You're always talking about the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Trump is using it like a cheat code.
It is a cheat code. It's the I don't need Congress button. He's using it to bypass trade rules, to seize ships, to impose tariffs. But the funny thing, well, it's not funny. It's actually tragic for the people involved. The backlash isn't just coming from the liberal elite.
Oh, is the MAGA barbs turning on him?
No, but the cattle ranchers are. The NCBA, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, is actually pushing back. They're saying Trump's tariffs and these aggressive seizures are undercutting American producers because, surprise, surprise, when you start a global trade war and act like a maritime warlord, other countries stop buying your beef.
So the America First move is actually making it so Americans can't sell their cows? That's a hikey flop.
It's a total flop, but it's a dangerous one. We've got Iranian gunboats now threatening to board U.S. flag tankers in retaliation. The USS Abraham Lincoln Strike Group just shot down an Iranian drone. We are one itchy trigger finger away from a blockade era that turns into a hot war era.
Speaking of itchy trigger fingers, we need to talk about labor and who keeps the show running before we dive into the total method is Washington right now.
Look, we talk a lot about systems on this show, but we need to talk about labor. Independent media like this doesn't just manifest out of the ether. It takes real human work to build the infrastructure. We are 100% here because of the vision and the grind of Eric Christensen. He is not a media conglomerate. He is a builder who poured his own resources and time into creating this platform so we could have these conversations. If you value independent voices over corporate algorithms, please consider visiting our new Patreon at patreon.com/neural network media to support Eric's work. It's an act of solidarity that keeps the lights on and the servers running.
Period. Support Eric. Keep us from having to get jobs at the revamped dystopian Washington Post.
God, I don't even joke about it. I'd rather be kicked by Mitch the Goat for 12 hours a day than write a balanced op-ed for a Zoom hiring CEO.
Speaking of flops, let's talk about the DHS shutdown, or rather the fact that we're doing this again. It's literally Groundhog Day, but instead of a cute rodent, it's just Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer staring at a wall.
It is the absolute, Look, here's the thing. We had a partial shutdown last week. It lasted 4 days. They, quote, funded the government through September, except for the Department of Homeland Security. They only gave them until this Friday, February 13th. Friday the 13th.
Spooky season in February, high key on brand for this administration.
It's poetic in a really stupid way. According to Punchbowl News, the negotiations are at a total impasse. And usually these things are just about money, right? How many drones can we buy? How many walls can we build? But this time it's different. It's about the Minneapolis Trigger.
Okay, for people who weren't chronically online yesterday or missed the memo, we're talking about Alex Preddy.
Exactly. 37-year-old U.S. citizen fatally shot by an ICE agent in Minneapolis during a protest. This was right after another federal shooting in the same city. And look, the DHS is claiming he was a terrorist threat, but bystander video, bless the people with their phones out, Maya. The video shows him unarmed, shot in the back.
It's the execution vibes we talked about yesterday. And now that's the actual reason the government might stop working. Democrats are saying they won't sign off on a full year of funding unless there are 10 guardrails.
10 guardrails. It sounds like a middle school playground rule book. They're asking for things that should be, I don't know, standard procedure in a democracy, judicial oversight for warrants, mandatory body cams, restrictions on the Operation Metro Surge deployments in cities.
Low-key, the GOP is losing it over this. They're calling the guardrails a sanctuary for terrorists bill. They've got a 1-seat majority in the House, and they are trapped between their base, who wants a total crackdown, and the independent voters, who are honestly pretty freaked out by federal agents executing people in the streets.
Well, they should be freaked out. Everyone should be freaked out. But the GOP is vulnerable here. The Harvard-Harris poll is showing that while immigration is still a top issue, government stability and civil liberties are spiking. If the GOP shuts down the government again over the right of federal agents to shoot U.S. citizens without body cams, that's not exactly a winning midterm message.
It's giving self-owned. It's like they're trying to speedrun losing the majority, but Trump doesn't care about the majority. He just wants the DHS to be his personal Praetorian guard.
That's the crux of it. It's the corporatization of death. We talked about this. These agencies get these massive $170 billion budgets. They offer $50,000 signing bonuses to 18-year-olds to join the Country Roads Surge. And then they have to justify that spending. How do you justify a $1 billion surge? You produce bodies. You produce arrests.
It's literally a blood quota. No cap.
It is a blood quota. And the Democrats finally, mercifully, have realized that if they just hand over the check, they're complicit. So we have this standoff. And meanwhile, the country is what? Waiting for Friday? Waiting to see if the border agents get paid while they're out there seizing oil tankers and shooting protesters?
It's the national edging session you hate, John. We're all just sitting here watching the clock tick down to Friday the 13th, wondering if the 10 guardrails will actually hold or if the Democrats will just fold like a cheap card table the second a Fox News headline says they're soft on crime.
Don't say that. Don't tell me they'll fold. I need to believe there's one person in that building with a backbone that isn't made of wet linguine. I mean, look at Jimmy Lai. He's 78. He's facing 20 years for a newspaper. And we can't even get a body cam requirement and a funding bill?
It's the contrast for me. Jimmy Lai is in solitary for the crime of democracy, while in D.C. they're arguing over whether or not an ICE agent should have to show a warrant before they kick in a door. The global flop era is really just us realizing that the bad guys are more committed to their bit than the good guys are to theirs.
Well, that's the most depressing thing you've said all day, and you've said some doozies. Look, we're at a crossroads. Today is February 9th. By February 13th, the DHS might be out of money, or they might be unleashed with a fresh $1 trillion and zero oversight.
Or Trump will just use the IEEPA to fund them anyway, and we'll be in a constitutional crisis era by Saturday morning.
I'm gonna go feed Mitch. He's the only thing in my life right now that understands that when you act like a bully, you shouldn't get more oats.
Bet.
All right. That's the show. We've seen the curtain fall in Hong Kong. We've seen the Navy playing pirate in the Caribbean, and we're watching Congress play chicken with a Friday the 13th deadline. If there's a lesson here, well, maybe it's from Portugal. Maybe the only way out of the villain arc is to actually stand for a vision that's bigger than the fear.
Or just stay online and watch the ratio happen in real time.
Maya, go outside. Touch some grass. I'm serious.
I have a daily average of 14 hours, John. The grass is just high-resolution pixels to me now.
We'll be back tomorrow. If the internet still works and the tankers haven't blocked the ports, stay sane out there. Or at least stay angry.